Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's Natalie Walsh. I am playing with the Flower Shop tags and tickets. Now these are embossed little die cuts. You can sort of see them shimmering there. This also coordinates with the Flower Shop paper collection. Now I'm also going to be playing with that collection, but it's the basics, as you can see there. So I have die cut a little piece of cardstock using Ben's plaid. It measures 12.9 centimeters by 8.8 centimeters, and I'm laying that up with some foam tape. This is just stuff that we get from here in Australia from Bunnings. It's very fine, so or thin, low loft, I think they call it. And this is just mounted on some grey cardstock. This cardstock is from Paper Rose, Cloudy Grey. All these cards are going to be relatively clean and simple. Now over on my blog, which I will link down below, will be a few more that I've put together. And you can just sort of have a look and get some ideas, because sometimes it's just coming up with ideas of what you could use things for and how you can use them and that sort of thing. So what's been happening with me? Not much. I'm still doing well, still getting through things. At the time being of recording of this video, you're going to see this a lot later than I am recording it, but things are going well. And it's a lovely, cool but lovely day outside. So I can't really tell you anything. I've got no stories, I've got nothing. So we're just going to enjoy these little cards today. Out of the tags and tickets, you have lots of banners. You have a lot of butterflies. So I've grabbed 3 little butterflies and I'm just figuring out where to position these. Of course, you can do wherever you wish. I'm also going to add some little clear drops. These are the clear crystal drops from Paper Rose, of course. And the glue is just a liquid glue that I have decanted into another bottle. I really need some more of that. I've got some more being ordered and it's coming hopefully very shortly. This just helps it to have a lot finer nozzle, and I use it for all these finer details things. So anything that has, I've die cut something out that is a little bit narrow, that's what I use that for. Here I sort of was trying to figure out what I want to do because it needed something extra. But I decided not to go with sort of the stitch lining that I quite like to do, and go with these clear crystal mixes. And just dotting those around. Again, just getting my position. We'll adhere those down with the Paper Rose liquid glue. Almost done. Just going with the flow. So yeah, there's a lot of big butterflies. Actually I did 2 in the end. I did a card that you'll see on the blog that just has an embossed background. I think I did it differently than the Ben's plaid. I think I did winter plaid, still a plaid, but you know what I mean. And had just 3 little, or big butterflies I should say, with a sentiment across the middle of one of them, just smack bang in the middle. We've got some more little frames here that we're using that I've picked out. The writing on this I thought was a bit teeny tiny, so we're going to make it a little bit more noticeable. I've glued that flat, the frame flat, onto a piece of just grey beige cardstock that I had in my stash, and then using one of the little sentiments, I've matted that onto the stormy grey cardstock as well, and we will adhere that down onto our little frame. Now I haven't trimmed all these down. I collected all the bits and pieces to try and make it a bit quicker, but I haven't trimmed that down, so we're just cutting that down to size. My signature thing, I suppose, when it comes to this sort of thing, a little bit of embossed die cut surgery. This one wasn't quite perfect, I should say, and it needs to have a little bit, you can see it comes out to a really rough point. That's all right, so we're going to hide that with our little banners and have them sticking down and hiding that little jutting part, so it works out well. So I don't want you to basically, there's things you can do and no one's going to know about it. You know about it, I know about it, and that's about it. I won't tell if you won't tell, but that's the way it goes. So the house is still being packed up, slowly and surely. By the time you see this, we'll be a little bit closer to moving. I just want to get it done now. You know what I mean? Like, I was all anxious about selling the house because, you know, the boys, we've been here for be just short of 24 years. And that's something I've never really done previously. You know, that's the longest I've been in any house. And, you know, the boys grew up here. My babies came home from hospital here, except one. We were living in another house with Aiden. But it's all good. But, you know, these things go through your mind a little bit when you're a little bit sentimental. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. No, actually, it's not me. Because the lady who is buying this house, the husband and wife, she was selling hers, and we walked down to have a look at the auction. And we happened to come around because she actually lives so our road is a circle. Okay. So in the middle, there is a very large, it's not like a court, it's actually legit a circle. And in the middle, there is another little, it's not even a court either, but basically another little circle. And it sounds massive, but it's not. But it is big enough to have a whole heap of townhouses and 3 or 4 houses along the other side. And she lives in one of those townhouses. So we walked around the corner and she was hiding down the side, sort of checking out everything that's going on. And she's like, I feel sick. I'm like, I know. She's like, I thought I heard you were being emotional, but, you know, let's get back to that in a minute. So the third card that we've got here, we're using the inked happy border. And I'm actually going to die cut that 2 times off camera, but I've die cut it 2 times and I've glued those down. So it's given it a little bit more loft, a little bit thicker. Again, this paper is out of the Flower Shoppe Paper Collection. And I'm going to raise that up a little bit again because I can't help myself. But I've got to mark where not to put the foam. So I'm going to try and put the foam around the edges and just making sure I don't go too far over. So she was like, I heard you were emotional, but, you know, and I was like, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? I'm like, no. She's like, I said, you get it now, don't you? And she's like, yep. I said, I'm emotional anyway. Like, I was pretty bad. But it's not fun. It's not fun whatsoever. But anyway. So I think my camera cut out a little bit. Thankfully enough, I didn't lose too much. So what I did do is add a little bit of stickles, just trails. So I've glued all that down. And little trails of 3 dots with some stickles. Hopefully you'll see that in the camera at the end of the photos. Over on my blog, I should say. Over my blog. I have the All Occasions Sentiment Pack. Because originally, this is where I stuffed up. Yeah. Well, a happy mistake. Let's go happy mistake. Because it's not stuff up unless you totally, you know, stick your finger in and the ink can leave a great big whopping mark. I was originally going to stamp. Because I didn't know what I was going to stamp, I decided to leave it be. And then I put my foam on and totally forgot. So this is my fake stitching with a multi-liner. This would be a 0.05, and I've got a couple of sentiments here. Now there is a happy Mother's Day and Happy Father's Day. We're going to use the Happy Mother's Day because it's not quite a Father's Day card, and Mother's Day is coming up. The time of recording is coming up like next week, I think. So I've used Happy Mother's Day because we've got the happy there, so I've just trimmed that off the sentiment, and we'll use that for something else. And now adding a little bit of glaze, black glaze dotted here and around, just to give it a little bit of black, but not, we didn't want anything too in your face. So that's the third card. So here's all the cards that we've got together for. I hope you're well. Take care, and I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye.